All right, we are live. You are welcome to Opinion Sharers. My name is Paul, and today we are going to be talking about the current situation with regards to Naira redesign and the accompanying consequence, which is scarcity that we've all seen. I think every Nigerian, regardless of where you are, you must have seen it. It must have, touched you by way. Because it has. I've seen videos of people going naked in bank hall. I've seen videos of fighting. I've seen videos of some, maybe mini riot or at least a protest. I landed in Ibadan yesterday. There were bank buildings that were destroyed. Some set ablaze. Some people, I've seen people, trying to remove the gate of a bank. So, the implication of that is that people are angry. And we know that it is not enough to come and to go and destroy properties, whether government or public or private properties. But then, it is what it is. People are angry, and so I have a guest tonight who will be discussing that with me. We are not going to be discussing this as experts on policy or expert on currency redesign and all, but we are going to be discussing it as citizens who are passionate about the country, who love the country, and then that's how we are going to be doing the discussion today. So I urge you to please go and share it. Please help us share the link so that we can invite people who would be interested in the discussion this night. So if you are on Facebook, we are live on Facebook. Please help us share it. And we're also live on YouTube and Twitter. So I'm going to be doing a quick introduction of my guest so that we don't waste time. So let me do it like this. So you have Tosin Citizen Oluwatosin is a regular face on this show, and Michael is also a regular face. Tunde is on the street in Nigeria, so he's going to be giving us the situation report on ground. Tunde is also a regular face to an extent. He hasn't been here. I think he hasn't been here in a few months. And then my friend Sho Abiodun is also. I think this is going to be his third appearance on Opinion Sharers. Sure, you're welcome. So,
Yeah, thank you, brother.
all right. So, let's go into the discussion. If you can share, please help us share. Help us share, okay? So that we can invite other people to join us. If you have comment, please drop your comment in the comment section. We will read it out, and you can contribute to the discussion however you want to contribute. So I don't know if okay, let's Michael first of all give us the situation report. What's happening?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. It's good to be back on the platform to discuss about nation again. Sadly, we are talking about challenges of our nation this time around. In the past almost 2 weeks now, it has been an uneasy ride for Nigerians. Uneasy in the sense that we have been battling with what I call the financial crisis, and this is as a result of poor administration. And this is also happening at a time where Nigerians are really facing challenges because it is enormous with petrol scarcity. There's a PMS now, as we call it, high inflation. There's a hike in the prices of the general commodity in the market, and at the same time, we are in the eve of election because election is about 21 days away from today, if I am very correct. And this is to tell us that it is not a very easy moment for Nigerians. However, in the past 1 week, it has been taking another turn where Nigerians have to actually go through the eye of the needle to get money to spend, not as if money is not available for some individuals. Some people have money perhaps in their bank account, but to access money for basic social need, to meet basic social need, that has been somewhat difficult. And it has not been any better because almost every day it is not quite funny here. And up to the point that financial institutions, some of them, they have to open for operations on Saturdays and on Sundays so that at least the needs of citizens can be met. Perhaps those who want to actually get money from the bank. And at the same time, to we are having the issue of, and what has actually led to all of this is a currency change from one coloration to another. Perhaps the federal government, they have issued statements maybe as a result of insecurity. However, it is not a new thing because when President Buhari was the head of state in 1984, 85, similar thing was done. And the intention then, according to records, was actually to fight those who were into the act of money laundering, to actually ensure that what they have taken away from the country or what they have kept somewhere, it's they actually did not take advantage of it. And we have seen a situation whereby some people have stockpiled money in their respective houses in different places for different needs. Some, they have come out to tell us maybe for political reasons because we're at the eve of the election, and some, a lot of things. And we have had the CBN governor issue statement stating how many billions of naira that has been kept somewhere as a result of by some elements. Permit me to use that language. And according to his report, permit me to actually read some of these things out. As at October 2022, he said the money in circulation was about 3.23 trillion, and the one in the banking industry was about 500 billion, and people's homes. So the money that was kept in people's home was about 2.7 trillion naira, which is actually more than what we have in our banks. We have 5 billion, 500 billion in banks, and we have 2.7 trillion in people's houses. And as at January 2023, when this whole matter started, in his press statement, he also stated that the money in circulation as at that period was about 2.23 trillion, which is also the same as what was in circulation in October 2022. And the one in the banking industry was about 2.4 trillion naira. And what we have in people's home now is about 900 billion. So, judging from all of these statistics that I've read out, it shows that there is an intentional act to actually put the economy in a state of collapse, so to say, because money that should ordinarily be circulating within the system, as at October 2002, just about 3-4 months away, we had about 2.7 billion in people's homes. And what does that really mean? It tells us that no, so the power brokers, because I'm not a politician. Even if you search my house, you may not find up to 5,000 naira. So I don't have any reason to keep money in the house because I have no election to contest or to win. But it's a point out to the fact that to tell us about the state of our democracy, number one, the weakness of our financial institution, number two, and of course the intention of those who are vying for political offices, who are the so-called leaders or the intending leaders now. It tells us about their intention and what they actually mean for the country. So it is a quite worrisome situation if ordinary people on the street, just like myself and every other Nigerians, we have to actually go through the eye of the needle to get what they want, to get what we all want to meet our basic social needs. And sadly, I think we don't really need to blame our leaders alone, because those who are working in our commercial banks, they also have family
Michael, let me
members.
stop you. Let me stop you first.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the intro. I want us to look at Michael has said many things, but sincerely, but when I first of all heard about the policy that he wants to ensure that no, people who has money does not go and scatter the election, and all of those things. I thought it was laudable. All right. And like a lot of people have also said that this is like the second time Buhari is doing it. He did the same thing, I think, around 83, and he did it also suddenly and with utmost secrecy. And this time, the same thing also kind of repeating itself. But the thing is, the question here is that how genuine is this policy itself? How genuine is the intention? So Tosin.
Hi, good evening. How genuine is the intention? It will only they are the only one that can tell how genuine their intentions are, and on the from the opinion of the citizen, how genuine is the citizen will love what is happening if it is done the right way and if the right measure is taking place, because the intention were to make those that were hiding money in their houses to bring it out. Money is short in the economy. They just have them stuck somewhere that the citizens cannot have access to them. So I guess that was the intention. He has done it before. I mean, he has done it before, as in the president has done it before. Is it his intention to make life difficult for people? I don't think so. Now, is it his intention to make the election go the right way? I think I will buy to that opinion that he is purposely doing this at the eve of the election so as to frustrate politicians that have stocked up money in their houses to use it during the election. Now, even if he has done it before in his regime, uh, according to the law, uh, the currency should be changed every 8 years. And what we have now is more than 8 years, our currency is not changed. The only thing is, Nigerians, they don't know how to, our government, I mean, they don't know how to plan for event of things, and thereby putting all of us in difficult situation. For those of us that stay abroad, you understand that when there's road construction are here, they make sure they pave way. They still make alternative ways that people can pass through, that you will not even know that there's construction around that place. But in our own case, everything will just be chaotic, dust will be everywhere, the road will be blocked and all that. If not, if not that the ethic of people getting the currency and all that, and also the greediness of bankers and all, then this is a good intention. This is a very good intention because our elections over the years has been monetized because of the situation our people are politicians purposely impoverish the people so that they can use money to buy their vote on election day. And this is doing us bad. This is not good for our politics. So the intention is very good. I actually buy into it at the inception of it. But looking at how they are managing the whole things now, it is really putting our citizen in difficult situation. The pictures and videos that is popping up on social media does not tell of good things. And news we are even hearing from our family and loved one back home in Nigeria is a terrible one. People have their money stuck in their account in a bank, but they cannot access them.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. Now I want Malade Okomo, that's Tunde, to please help us understand, because see it is understandable that people does not have access to cash, physical cash, because maybe the process of transporting it from the central bank to all the branches, all the bank branches across Nigeria, and there are communities where there are no bank branches. So we can say the scarcity of the cash is can be attributed to that. But how is that supposed to affect people who want to do online transfer? You understand? In the last few days, even though I currently don't live in Nigeria, I can access my online online bank account in the over going to 1 week now. So I want Tunde to give us an to help us understand how this could, because Tunde also work in the banking sector.
Let me say it's nice to be here again for the first time this year. Thank you, Mr. Paul, for inviting me. And I hope you can hear me. Eh, I hope you people can hear me.
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you. Continue. Go ahead.
Okay, good. Actually, it should be a kind of happy meeting again. But then the situation in this country has made it a bit very sad that there is no way you can be in Nigeria at this point in time. I think this is one of the most difficult time to be a Nigerian. It's a trying time in the history of this country. We've never had it this bad that we're having situation of naira swap, and we're having the issue of fuel problem, fuel scarcity all over the place. And of course, the power issue is as epileptic and as worse as we never have it in time past. And everything put together at the eve of an election is a very serious issue for a country like ours, the largest black nation on earth, as perceived. That said, the situation of downtime in financial in banking network is another headache. It's another bottleneck for citizens because if you say you are going cashless, if we look at it properly, there are some things that are supposed to have been in place. An issue of cashless should not be what you come into overnight. You must have gotten your telecommunication industry correct up to task. You must have got your energy industry working up to task. And in terms of other financial sectors that are supposed to be a key player in this kind of sector, in this kind of a policy, ought to also know what they are doing. But as it stands now, the policy that CBN has brought up in the issue of Naira Day redesign initially may have a good projection. But then, as it stands as of today, as I'm talking to you, Nigerians are going through hell in order to get their cash either by hand or to do transfer for transactions that may be necessary for their day-to-day activities. So on the I think since on the first, when the deadline elapses, Nigerians has also found out that there's a downtime in banking services. They could not do transfer, whether domestic to domestic or domestic to foreign, which will have eased the issue of doing things in the first place. If we are talking about doing a naira redesign to go cashless, and we cannot do ordinary bank transfer through our mobile app or through other electronic means, then it means that in the first place we are not even ready for what we are planning to do. And it is a good saying that he who fails to plan to fail. For President Muhammadu Buhari, for him to say he has a plan of bringing up this policy so that people who have monies in their home will not be able to buy vote and disrupt the election, and will not be able to render the election a non-free and fair one. I think it will be a late policy for me, because his silence over the last 7 years is just too much. Just for him to wake up at an eve of election to come up with a kind of policy like this. So for me, I think what is responsible for this particular thing can be two, either one of the two. The first one is that possibly the banking sectors, the bankers, they do not want situations where people will want to find issue on them, to blame issues upon them. So once the services are down, people will know that there is no even need for coming to the banking hall or for coming to lodge any complaint whatsoever. So they are looking for where they can push the issue, either back to government, or citizens will just resort to whatever way of life they want to resort to. Secondly, is that they themselves, the banking sectors, are ill prepared for this particular policy of the central bank. Because I recall that 2 months 2 months after the CBN has pronounced this make this pronouncement that there's going to be a naira redesign, or after they have launched the new naira, I still discovered that the ATM machines were still churning out old notes. Instead of the banking sectors to be collecting the old notes back, to be absorbing them while they are giving out new notes, they are still churning out at ATMs, even at on counters, they are still churning out old notes. That shows that there is no plan anywhere to help in this situation. And lastly, so that I don't completely go out of context, is that the CBN itself did not do well in the sense that the amount of naira they printed in exchange for the old notes, I don't think is close to what it should be. If you want to take away, let's say you want to take away 1 billion naira notes from circulation, I think the sensible thing to do is to print 1 billion naira notes to replace those old ones, so that life will be easier for people. So the network is down because we don't get other sectors of the economy right. The telecommunication sector is not up to task. The energy sector is not up to task. The financial sector and the banking sector is not up to task. And here we are because of the poor policy of government. So I think that is the situation we are having now. And as things progresses, as still things goes by, I don't think there can be any change unless the government decide to reverse this policy and plan ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Tunde, for that insight into understanding what's actually up. Because I've been worried. In fact, maybe on Thursday was that I thought, could it be that the bank is, I mean, the country is bankrupt, and maybe they've they've siphoned our money, and then that's why they just lock it up. You can't access your money, you can't withdraw cash, you can't make transfer, you can't even check your balance safe. Anyway, let me go. Let's go a little bit further in the discussion. And this question, I'm asking it based on the several appearances of Governor El-Rufai on TV, multiple TV stations in the past week. He was saying that there are elements in the government, not in the government, elements in Aso Villa, all right, who is against their candidate, that is, that warranted this sudden change, this policy, that it is not part of APC's policy, and that these people just want to make sure that the APC is blamed for whatever catastrophe befalls the country as a result of this policy. So I'm going to ask my friend here, who is going to give us an insight. What do you agree with El-Rufai on this show?
Good evening, House, and thank you for having me on the show. All right, Nigeria itself, it's drama. Let's just call it drama. There's no two names for Nigeria to name Nigeria than drama. Because first thing I want us to hold in our left hand and keep it aside is that this is political. I'm a politician, so I'll be talking to you politically with little facts that I know. The truth is, there is no way anybody will bring this kind of policy on without having proper plan. Like Tunde said, he said, he who fail to plan to fail. In this kind of situation, this policy is one of the best policy. If I'm going to buttress what Citizen Oluwatosin said, he said in the constitution you are allowed to change currency every eight years. You're allowed to change currency every 8 years constitutionally. Doesn't mean you have to change it. but it's allowed to be changed every 8 years. And if we're going to look at it, it's overdue for change.
That's what I
Now,
mean.
let's look at the
It's
fact.
long overdue.
Yeah, yeah, I'm buttressing what you said. Now, looking from that angle, it's long overdue for changing. Good intention for changing, um, good policy for changing the money, but ulterior motive, bad intention. It's political. Where Buhari is okay. Sorry, I'm not supposed to bring this on. It's not part of the show, but I'm an APC person, like a diehard from the days of SDP up till date. But where is President Muhammadu Buhari when bills are being passed to him for the past 7 years? Like my brother here said, he was nowhere to be found, giving answers to these things. But at the dying minute, when election is just days, they are bringing these difficulties to the whole Nigeria. So if my friend here, Paul, will say, um, some of us believe that he's trying to do this to sabotage APC, yeah, I would answer you that yes. I don't want us to go into it fully politics, but we're fully political. So let's go back to people and the intention of the policy itself. First question: why would you bring this thing now when you are leaving? Let's go back to all the pipeline that have been discovered, and he has been doing his arrest since how many months now? What was he doing since? That is the game. The gimmicks of the game is fuck APC up by doing all these things, and nobody will vote for them because this difficulty is brought by President Muhammadu Buhari of the APC. When this policy came in, everybody embraced it. That God catch these politicians; they will not have money to do any laundry. Please, before I move further, I don't want us to hold word against ourselves. Please, no matter the political party you're supporting, no matter your candidate, because I might be an APC member and be supporting Obi for presidency and be supporting Sowolu for governor. It happens in politics, yeah. People support governor and support somebody else in presidency. So anybody that is supporting any candidate, please, we don't want. I urge us not to be aggressive in replying to any messages, replying to any comments that is being made here. Just let's see what is important is the currency that we are treating tonight. We are just looking at the fact or the factors that surrounds it, which is, in my own opinion, it's highly political. Nigeria is not that country that is even ripe enough to just change money overnight and just tell them, okay, in 2 3 months, oh, you have to remove all the money from the street. We have 15 naira notes here in Dubai, and we have which is paper, and the other one is nylon. Till date, we still spend the 50 dirhams, and they've changed this money since last 2 years. That is how you change money in policy. When you bring policy to change currency, it doesn't mean you have to give them ultimatum of 3 months, 2 months, 6 months. No, you let it flow until it's no more there in the system or in the market. But somebody brought this policy, and the next thing is coming out to say, okay, oh, in the next 10 days, if you don't bring your money to the bank, oh, your money is gone. How many of this money do the bank itself has in their own treasury to circulate to the people? Now, bank becomes scams because now banks start collecting money from people. Bring your money, don't worry, you will get it in your account. People get home, they cannot even access their online banking. So we will check if the money is in their account. So they go back to the bank and start constituting nuisance. Everybody embraced this policy when it came. This is good though. It will help us to fuck all the politicians up. They will not be able to bribe anybody, especially all these Tinubu and all of them that used to bribe people. But what I know about Nigerians never think when things are happening. They think after. It is now that people are coming out. From statistics now, 75% of people disagree with this. But I remember in the beginning of this, they are all shouting, yes, this is good, this is great. not thinking about the consequences.
Mm.
When
Okay.
Obasanjo was sitting there as the president, I'm coming 1 minute, please. Obasanjo was sitting there as the president. Everybody was condemning him, like this man is bad. Oh. Now he left that place. They were like, Obasanjo brought us network and telecommunication. Is good, is that. Obasanjo is that man that speaks in the country now that everybody say, yeah, he's number one. Is this, is that. But I remember when he was sitting there, especially the Westerners, is an evil to us. So Nigerians are just like this. And, let me rest for now. This is my opinion for now. Let's proceed, please. Thank you.
All right. Sure. Thank you. Mr. Akinyemi here said he's commenting from the it's from the commenting from Facebook. He said if FG refuses to do something urgently, he said it will be he is believed that there might be no election. Well, let's hope that they do something about it and it won't. I don't think they would want to jeopardize the election. I don't think so. No matter what even if it is true that there are some people in Buhari's kitchen cabinet who is against the APC presidential candidate, I don't think they want to jeopardize the election per se. And I wouldn't want to ask this question. I would have said, let me ask Michael, who is perhaps not political. Maybe it's not supporting any candidate. I don't know, but I'm just assuming that Michael may not be supporting any particular candidate. So I would say, Michael, do you think, just looking at even the VP, it's strange a little bit to me that even the VP who sits on the panel of the economics or whatever economic cabinet is now saying that the Naira redesign policy, I saw it in the news earlier today, that it is not good. I said, what were they looking at? See El Rufai, who was close to Buhari. Even Tinubu has been stylishly, I think he started with Tinubu stylishly saying it. I guess he has been keeping quiet and keeping quiet before you know it. Baba bust, So anyway, let me risk it. Let me ask Michael, and assuming that you are, to an extent neutral, do you think it is possible that there are elements in Buhari's kitchen cabinet who wants to install, somebody of their own, and whom would they want to install that is somebody of their own? And this guy, El-Rufai said, is not even. He said people should not blame Oshibajo that it's a northerner. It is actually northerner. That's what he said. I'm quoting him. Michael.
Well, in every rumor, there's element of truth, and I believe that the issue of cabal is not new to our politics. And at the same time, just to start with, you talked about the vice president perhaps being the head of the National Economic Council, what he has said, and about his position about the Naira. Let me say this again. There's limit to what the vice president of this country can do, because the power itself, as given by the constitution, is majorly given to the president. So, and even if he's in acting capacity, there is still limit to what he can do. So I want us to bear that at the back of our mind, that the vice president, yes, is constitutionally recognized, and but there are certain decisions he can take. And you will be surprised. Meaning, the Minister of Finance the other time came to the public to tell us that he was not aware that Naira was going to be redesigned. That's somewhat a superintending minister over the Central Bank of Nigeria. So you'll be surprised, though Central Bank is an independent institution on its own. But if a minister that you work hand in hand with, the Minister of Finance, for that matter, is not aware of what was going on, then I don't think you and I should be aware, so to say. However, looking at the issue of power, the cabals, the person they want to install this and that, yes, in politics, what matters in the interest. And one of the evil definition of politics is this: politics is who gets what, when, and how. And the question is this: how I get it is none of your business. Assuming they have succeeded in achieving their own goal, perhaps they have pushed their candidate forward, and maybe Asiwaju is no longer the whatever the presidential candidate. It will be another different explanation today. But now that is a presidential candidate, there is this perception there that, oh, since Emefiele attempted to also become the president of Nigeria, he contested, and because of court injunction, he was actually kicked out, because it is believed that he may have instigated all of these crises to just frustrate the election, to frustrate the economy, to do all manners of things, particularly against the politicians. So that's a common perception by people on the street. But should that now be done to at the detriment of all of us? Over 200 million of us, because these people, if you put them all together, I'm not sure they are up to 100,000, so to say. So, but just imagine what has become the fate of over 200 million Nigerians. So yes, that may be true. And for El Rufai to have come out to say this openly, I think it is not something that we should all push away like that. Yeah, that is a secret that he has come to reveal to the public. And El Rufai is such a politician that is very intelligent at that. I respect him in certain areas, and for him to have divulged all of those things, it shows that it's something that has gotten to the brim, that they have no option than just to say all of this. And let me also add, as I round up, that some of these statements that they come out to the public to express, it has a way of, should I say, one, shaking or redirecting the political atmosphere. Remember, it was a statement that Obasanjo made in Abeokuta, where the Eleyi of Ogun State came out from, and the Emilokon slogan, that actually set a tune. I may be politically wrong, but it sent a signal to the political environment within the APC that this guy is actually, he meant business. And for him to have actually managed to buy over, to have won the sympathy or the support of the Northwest governors, is an indication that there is practically nothing that can be done again. Even if other zones did not support him for that primary election, with the vote he got from the Southwest and the Northwest put together, he ordinarily would have emerged as a presidential candidate of APC, just as he has. So finally, I think it's a serious time we are in. So let us be dancing to the music as we continue to search for Naira on the street. So Naira is now gaining against Naira on the street. Sorry to say that.
Okay, now it is Naira versus Naira. Yesterday it was trending on Twitter that it is Naira versus Naira now. How much is Naira? It used to be how much is dollar. Now it is how much is Naira. Tunde told me that he wanted to withdraw 10,000 from his account, and then he had to pay 1,000. That's like 10%. That how many percent is that? To get 10,000 from your own account, though, it's ridiculous. Anyway, and that's why I'm going to ask Tosin this question. This next question is: I've seen news of people saying, you see, POS people. See, I've not been in Nigeria for a while, so I don't really understand how this POS business, operate. But I learned that these people are charging. If you want to get 20,000, they will take 5,000. Like today, say he got 10,000 from his account. He paid 1,000. So, does it really make sense to you? Do you think Nigerians are also, we are doing ourselves? These are ordinary people to ordinary people. Person.
Yes, we are we are doing ourselves also. We are doing ourselves because and this, if we are attacking the POS guys, then we will not be doing them good. Fish think that one from the head. There are some videos I was seeing online before the show of ICPC, that's the Financial Crime Commission brother, the EFCC other partner, ICPC. They were going into banks from one bank to another. And bankers in their vote, they keep the new Naira note behind and keep the old note outside. So, like me and you, that we want to spend all the old note with us and keep the new note. Banks are also doing like that. And Mr. Michael has also made reference of them. Is it my Mr. Michael or Mr. Today that say instead of the bank dispensing new notes, they are still dispensing old notes. There is still another video today online that in the ATM machine, the bankers they put the new notes, they put it there, but it was still wrapped with a plastic. Thereby, the machine cannot dispense it. The
Yeah, that's
machine
in
will be
that was
dispensing
in
the old
Oshogo,
one.
I guess.
Yeah. So we also have seen videos of people in the Owambe parties spray new notes, but those in the bank cannot get new notes. So in all this, we can to have a sane society, to have a just society, is the responsibility of both the government and the citizens. It's not only the government. So we, the citizen ourselves, we are doing more bad to ourselves even than our government. That is those in charge of banks in Nigeria, the central bank. They are talking about getting the money to all the states. Politicians, we can fly helicopters and they cannot put money in helicopter to dispense it to different states. That is why we need people that their brain is working according to the century we have now to be in realm of affair in Nigeria. And not those that will be thinking like we are still in 1980 or we are still in 1960. They cannot put money in helicopter to dispatch it to different states and even different towns, different cities. It can go in helicopter. When there was problem in the GCC and the other GCC cut ties with Qatar, in order for Qatar citizens to get fresh milk, the government there had to bring down planes to fly in cows and goats from Austria, from Netherlands to Qatar. That year, it was in the USA, the flying cows. So we need people that will be in realm of affair in Nigeria that will make things work and work for good. And the citizen too, the damage we are doing to ourselves is too much. The bankers are selling money, and the guy in the POS obviously is going to buy the money somewhere. That is why he also is collecting 10%. 10% that belong to God, they are not giving it to POS guy. Because he's also buying it. And as they are buying it, they are increasing the money. Now everybody is stuck. Fuel is there. People are not even talking about fuel again. You don't even have money. You want to talk about fuel. I see another picture on social media for the food campaign. They say pay new notes before food. Transfer not allowed. The situation is becoming very critical and people's lives are at stake. People have money stuck in the bank and they cannot access it. Our government really need to be proactive. When the citizens see that they have a president that is a no-nonsense person, they will behave accordingly. And that is what happened at the inception of this Buhari administration, because people think Buhari is this guy that will hold everybody accountable. But after some weeks, some months, they see that he's just not that active. Everybody go to their corrupt way and things happening the way it is happening. So citizens are also part of the problems. The CBN governor, if you really need to change money, then you should put the right policies to get those cash to different destinations, different towns and cities in the country, and not just put all of us in jeopardy.
Okay, thank you, Tosin. The next question would go to, where's my friend Show? Tosin, Tunde, are you still there? Okay, so I want you to give us a brief assessment. Do you think Nigeria, based on what you have seen, you live in the largest city in Nigeria, the most developed, most advanced city in your state in Nigeria, do you think Nigeria is actually ready for cashless policy?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that the issue of cashless policy is a problem of Nigerians. It's a problem of the administrators, the problem of the handlers. It's just like when there was a former Senate president that once said in the military era that telephone is not meant for the poor people. But the truth of the matter is that even the poorest of poor in our villages today still make use of telephone because there was a policy framework, there was the necessary tools in place, and today everybody key into it. So in any case, when you are bringing up new policies, the collaboration of the government and the private sectors forging ahead, leading the pack, makes it easy for people to fall in place. So I want to say that Nigerians, as people, as citizens, they are ready for cashless policy, but our government is not ready because there is a serious work for government to do. There are other sectors to be developed before you can be talking of cashless policy. Look at it, even some of us who also yearn for this kind of cashless system because it makes transactions and things easier for us. We are even unable to make use of them. Just take for instance, you go to maybe to a restaurant, you want to buy food, and you have your card with you, and they are telling you that probably the POS or whatever to take money from your card is down. So what do you do in that regard? So it does not mean that you as a citizen, you are not educationally inclined or ready for that kind of a system because it makes it faster for you. But then the system is not ready. It's as a result of the way we build our democracy around political parties, around politicians. And little we won't wonder that our constitution only recognize political parties to be sponsoring candidates instead of candidates looking at candidates individually, what they can be able to offer to people. And look at parties that we have on ground now who does not even have, they are not grounded in their own manifesto. They don't have clear cut manifestos of what they want to do for the citizens, for the country. So for me, I would say citizens, Nigerians are ready for whatever policy that is going to favor, that is going to be good for this country and move the economy forward. But the handlers of these countries are not ready. They only bring up policies that will only favor them. They bring up policies that will favor their political ways, like this one that we
Yes,
have right now. This one we have right now, I don't think that if it's a clear cut policies that will help the people, it shouldn't go this way. It is
yes.
political.
It's highly
So for
political.
me, Nigerians are ready, but our administrators are not ready.
All right, thank you very much, Tunde. That's beautiful. Uh, my show,
Yeah.
and I want show to look at how is this likely going to impact the election.
Okay. All right. As an individual, did you think I would? Okay, Nigeria is a different country on its own in this planet. On this planet, the way we are remote, the way we are built, the way we are programmed is different from every other being. Because as a sound and normal human being, I don't think I will be encouraged or impressed to even go to a polling booth to vote for anybody. This should discourage people to vote for APC automatically. Now, I'm mentioning party because President Muhammadu Buhari happens to be a flag bearer, a sitting president of that party, APC. How or who in his right sense would think I want to vote for this man for APC? If somebody in that party is the one bringing out this policy that he did not carry the Minister of Economy alongside. The governors did not even know when he's going to when he was going to implement this policy, when he was going to make this policy, pass it before it's being implemented. He did not carry keen people alongside. He just went ahead and do his thing because of his own political agenda. It's simple, it's glaring that I'm very rational for saying this, that these people just want this thing to remain with the Hausas. Statistics as of today, with the numbers of governors and the large capacity of each state, the popular state like Kaduna Kano, compared to the northerners and the popular places that other aspirants are campaigning, Jagaban would have been the president tomorrow. Come forth this election, no matter where the noise comes from, diaspora or within Nigeria, it's not about making noise that puts people on seats. Common interest brings people together in politics. And game of politics is beyond just one man coming out on stage and saying blah 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 blue. What is behind game of politics is bigger and larger than that candidate that was appointed by the party. The party is stronger than the party candidate. But with this, I think this Hausa, the Arewas, or whatever, the Fulanis are trying to play their own game. That is why you said Jagaban broke his silence. He will break that silence. I know him. With the little time I've known him in these years, I've known him to be that person that doesn't forget anything. He doesn't forget anything. You do him good, you think he has forgotten, he will bring it back later and repay you back in good. Going to that seat with that illness that people said he has, with not being strong enough, it's going to fuck them up big time. Those part of the north. And they know. And now they are doing everything in their power to fuck APC up, not Tinubu. They've tried Tinubu in every way. And they realize that even this is policies that we have been doing for how many years. It is not about the noise that is being made everywhere. It is about the strength of the states that are going to support each candidate. For example, Kaduna is like 3 states in the east or 2 states in the east. So let's say the other candidate, the other aspirant is now saying, I have 2 states supporting me in the east, and 1 state can swallow 3 of that state. So where do you expect vote to come from? Definitely, you know that the election might be tight, very, very tight. Slim chances of escape, narrow escape. But from statistics, Jagaban will emerge the president. But now, with this saboteur in place or in play, it's going to affect the election drastically. This is their game plan. And this, like somebody said it's going to be a mind blow to every one of us. The obedience will think it will be, the Jagabans might think it's Jagaban. We will just see somebody like Atiku imagine to be the president if it continues like this. We are not talking about Atiku, Obasanjo, Tinubu, or Obedient now. We're talking about Nigerians. We Nigerians. This policy that we embraced 2 months ago is what we are going against now. Because we think later. We always think later. We don't think when anything is being brought to our table. We just embrace it. Then we go out to sleep and think over it. We are supposed to think over it before we give answers. I've seen a lot of people embracing it and jumping up. But is it always being done? With this improper arrangement, Nigeria is not even ripe to do a lot of things. Cashless policy is 0 for Nigeria. We are not there yet. Somebody came on and said Tinubu said he's going to fix the road, fix electricity. What was his party doing since 8 years? I laugh at them. You think Rome was built in a day? Rome was not built in a day. Implementing such things, doing those things, achieving those things requires time. Go to all those countries, all those African countries like Libya that are giving their citizens salary every month. It's because one president sat down on the throne for like 20 something years, 18 years. If you keep doing this, our changing, it will scatter and scatter. No, we'll
All
keep
right,
facing this same thing.
you're already going out of this thing. Let's move forward. I want us to close.
Okay, move forward, Baba. I'm just,
Thank you. We have
yeah.
5 minutes left. Okay, so in these 5 minutes, I want Michael, as you round up this session, and I want us to look towards way forward as usual. Now, I want to ask you: do you think the governors, I learned the governors met with the president maybe yesterday or
Okay.
thereabout. Do you
No,
think
today.
the governors would be able to prevail over President Buhari to pause this their cashless whatever, or to postpone the expiration date?
Yeah, I mean, after the
Please
meeting
make it
yesterday,
short. Make it brief, please.
I think there was a post made by the president's Facebook handle, and still affirming that the deadline of 10th of February still remains. Be that as it may, it is my own is just an admonition to the Nigerians that we should not allow the situation of things in the country to push us to the state of anarchy. We should just, bear in mind that things will get better. I am an advocate of peace, and it is only when things are peaceful that there can be solutions. So I appeal to Nigerians that let us embrace peace. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This one goes to uh, Citizen Tosin as we close. Do you think Buhari is trying to treat the fuck up of of Jagaban for how he wrestled with him during the primary election? Buhari was during the primary. Let me just try to refresh our memory. Buhari was trying to say, "I have my own candidate, whom I'm going to suggest," and then before you know it, we just hear Emilokan. And that Emilokan outburst in Ogun State, I think it makes Buhari, kind of quiet his opinion about his candidate. And, unfortunately for us, then, including myself, we were thinking that Oshibajo was going to be his candidate. But from what we have seen there, I think he probably was going to be the Senate president. I know I may be wrong, but then, do you think Buhari is trying to treat Jagaban's fuck up?
Buhari is a man that will not talk, so sometimes it is difficult for you to know where he's coming from or where he's going to. Oni Adake, Adake Masoro, Menti and Tonshi. So that's someone that is silent. You don't know which side he is. It might be that, and we cannot also overlook the allegations by the Kaduna State Governor El-Rufai, saying that there are some elements in the some cabals or some elements in the Aso Rock that do not want APC to win. And I think they move forward to saying those elements belong to another, before APC merged, some other parties merged together to form APC. So he said they belong, I think, to the old party of Buhari. That's the people that are working against them. And the wife of the president also affirmed this by posting the video of El-Rufai on a handle on Instagram. And wrote there, "Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria." So it might be that they are doing that to punish him. Maybe they might be doing that. But one thing the Buhari administration has not been quiet about is that they are going to make the coming election to be free and fair and to give every party and every candidate a level playing ground. They have not been silent about it, and they are still continually saying this. But another thing I want us to look about is, if we think that Buhari is the one making things difficult for uh, Tinubu, I've not seen Oshibajo in any of his campaign. Lai Mohammed, Fashola, Aregbesola, we believe they have their differences and all that. But Lai Mohammed, Are, Lai Mohammed and Fashola and Oshibajo, I've not been seeing them in Tinubu's campaign. Do they know some of the things we don't? They are more closer to him. Are they also backing down their support for him because of his health and age capacity of not able to take on the job and not throwing their support around him? That's your guess is as good as mine. So Buhari might not want to punish all of us or punish Tinubu with the new Naira redesign. It might just be doing that for the politicians generally, and for the politician generally, and for the purpose of the coming election, to avoid this coming election to be monetized. He's looking at maybe looking at leaving a good legacy for himself through a credible election. It is because
All
of
right.
the it is because I just ran up. It is because Jonathan made that call and allow a smooth transition. That is why Jonathan is now seen as hero in Africa and is being celebrated everywhere. I think Baba is playing towards that direction also, in order to give a smooth election so that he can be celebrated afterward. But no matter what, giving election is not what we elect him to do. Is to give the citizen a good life, which they have failed to do. No matter how credible the election are, his legacy is still poor.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the guests tonight. To Tunde Show, thank you very much, guys. In absentia. So we will be closing now. It will be in here for 1 hour, 2 minutes. Michael, thank you very much. I hope uh, I hope you and your wife are able to get some naira so that Tunde say he has to leave so that he can get some money to manage tomorrow.
Honestly, it is not funny. Honestly, it is not. You
Well,
would think
sorry.
because in fact, you want to collect PVC is problem. You want to register for PVC is problem. You want to collect driver's license is a problem. You want to register for it is a problem. You want to withdraw money from your account is a problem.
It's even to do video in Nigeria.
I am serious. I am serious. You want to get vehicle now is a problem. Is the survival of the fittest. If you don't have that muscle to use the elbow or shoulder to push somebody away, I can assure you that you will not get to your home on time. The journey
Oh,
of
wow.
5 minutes now is now about 1 hour something minutes in Lagos, according to my friend. And Nigerians now they will have automatically become Israelite of old that would see trekking as a norm.
It's exercise.
This is not exercise because it's in the hot afternoon where, and this is a dry season everywhere. You'll be sweating as if you have offended the whole world.
Oh, wow. Anyway, thank you, Michael. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that this is happening. But I think even we, ordinary citizens, ordinary Nigerians, civil servants, workers at filling stations, bankers, we all need to do better. We can do better. This is not just Buhari's fault. It's not just Emefiele that's at fault. There are a lot of people that are misbehaving, that are not doing well. Anyway, this is not the day for that. But thank you very much for watching. Please help us share the video so that other people can contribute and, see our views on this. So for now, we are going to we'll be back next week. Unfortunately, we are supposed to continue our topic on the marriage, on family rather, but because this one is hot, so that's why we have to pause that one. We will continue where we stopped. Thank you very much. See you next week, Saturday. Bye.